Welcome back to a Christmas cookie tutorial. Now I'll pop in the comments below the recipe that I'm using for this really fantastic cookie dough. This is a cookie dough that holds up so well to any shape, bakes really easy. You can add any spice to it. I've just added some vanilla, but you can add some orange, lemon essence or almond, anything that you like. And I've made a double batch of this dough to make lots of cookies, but just half the dough if you want about 12 to 20 cookies. So I've made my dough and I'm going to wrap this with some cling film and pop this in the fridge for 20 minutes. I actually have a freezer, so I'll pop that in my freezer for 10 minutes. It just firms up really well and stops it from sticking to your surface. Now these cookie cutters are super cute. I wanted to buy all of them and I'll put the link below to the Etsy store where I got them. I'm also using super cute happy sprinkles. They have little candy canes in and different coloured sugar strands and little gold balls, so these would be perfect. So I've just dusted my surface with some flour, not too much, but it'll just make sure that it doesn't stick, and I'm rolling this out to the thickness of about a pound coin, so that's about 5mm or a little bit more, and then just moving the dough around as I roll it. And you can see this is about how thick you want your cookie. So a nice thickness, not too thin, because if they're very thin then they'll be super crispy and they'll burn a lot quicker in the oven. So I'm just taking the gingerbread cutter that I have, or the gingerbread house, and I'm going in and just pressing that in. And because I want these to be really tidy and perfect, I'll start to move them away from the cookie dough before I do the next one. And as I'm pressing down, I'm just like wiggling it a little bit so that you don't get all those kind of jagged edges, and it comes out just a lot neater. So I've popped those in my freezer for about 10 minutes again, or about 5 minutes actually, just so that they really hold their shape. And we're going to pop them in the oven. Again, all the details of how long to cook these and what heat and temperature will be in the comment section below. So they're cooking up really nicely. You want them to just be slightly golden, so they'll still be a little pale as you can see here, but that's perfect. They are cooked, and if you leave them to cool on that cookie tray, it will just finish them off inside. So I have a very good quality sugar paste here, and this is the most important thing. You want a sugar paste that's not too soft, nice and firm. If you do have a very kind of soft sugar paste, go in with a little bit of CMC powder or Tylose, mix that in, massage it into your sugar paste, and then roll it out, and it will just make it firmer. I find, especially in the UK, brands like Renshaw, they're way too soft to do things like this, so use a high quality sugar paste. And I've gone in with a really cute light blue for this colour. I'm going to mix it up, and I'm cutting out the shape for my gingerbread house. I'm going to cut out the little mittens, and I have some bubble hats too. So I'm just using that cutter, and I find it's actually better to cut the fondant out before you add it to the cake and before the biscuits, and before you press that impression cutter into them. So here's my little gingerbread house, and then I'm going in with the little impression bit now. I don't know what you call this, an impression, a veiner, but the impression part, or stamp, let's say the cookie stamp, that's probably the right word. So I'm going in with the cookie stamp, and I'm going to press that down. Add a little bit of icing, sugar, or a tiny bit of corn flour onto your table before you do this, and it can help as well, just from stopping that icing or fondant from sticking to the surface. And with the bigger cutters, you have to kind of slightly pull these away. I'm pressing down really hard to make sure that impression does go in. I don't want it to be faint, but then it does mean you have to kind of peel the icing away a little bit. Also, when you roll out the icing, you can actually leave it for a few minutes just to firm up a bit more before you go in and start cutting out the shapes. That as well will just make sure you get a really nice solid shape. You can see here my icing was a little bit thin the way I rolled it out at the top, so I'll probably go in and redo that one, make it a little tidier. For my bubble hat, again, I'm just pressing that down. Make sure your cookie stamps are dry, free from any debris. You don't want them to be sticky or have any moisture, because they won't come away from the fondant. And then I'm going in with a clean paintbrush and some water, and just doing a little bit of water on the back of that icing. Don't soak it too much, but you're just adding a little bit of water to just activate the stickiness of the sugar paste. And there we go, we just press that down and put that over the cookie, and I'm kind of just going to tidy up those edges, make sure it's on really nicely. And here I've set up a little bit of a production line, so if you're making lots of these, what I tend to do is I'll line up all my cookies, make sure your cookies are cool before you start this bit, they've cooled down nicely, and then I've cut out all my little snowmen, put stamps into them so the impression's there, and then I start sticking them down to my cookies. I had a lot of these to do, so I found that was the quickest way to do this. But this is such a quick and easy gift to give your loved ones at Christmas. And here again, wouldn't it be so great if you could speed up time when you're working all the time? Obviously this isn't in real time, but it definitely speeds up the process. And I've gone with a really soft palette for the colours, so pink and whites and blues for this one, but of course you can mix it up. I just went for something quite feminine and fun on this occasion. There you go, that's a little gingerbread house. So I've got all my cookies all ready to go, and now we're going to go in and add a little bit of royal icing and some fun sprinkles. And you don't have to wait for your sugar paste to be completely dry at this bit. I have a size 2 nozzle, my little piping bag, and I've made up some royal icing. Again, I will put the instructions down below in the comments. Now you can see my royal icing here is a little bit stiff. I want it a bit softer so it's nice and easy to pipe, but not too soft because it will be super runny, won't hold its shape, and it won't harden. We need this to harden so that we can package them nicely and they don't get all smushed. So you can see I've added a little bit more water, and you've got this kind of very soft icing that doesn't fall off too quickly from the whisk. So I'm just putting all that down into my piping bag. I'm just using a nice small piping bag so it's nice and easy to manage, and I don't want to overfill that piping bag at all. I want to be able to hold it very comfortably in my hand. There again, but yeah, you can work on these while they're still quite soft. They don't have to be completely hard. I did this all in the space of about 3 hours. So I'm putting down a mix of 2 different sprinkles. I love this other blue and white mix. I think it will look really nice on the lighter cookies. And now I'm going in and I'm adding pressure, making a little ball, and then releasing the pressure so that the icing comes out. So pressing down, releasing, pressing down, releasing, pressing down, releasing, pressing down, and then releasing. And you keep doing that and then pulling off at the end to take the icing off. I'm going to go in with my red and gold sprinkle mix from Happy Sprinkles, take out a few of the little candy canes there and just place them where I'd like them to show. You can be really creative with this, paint the doors, add icing to the doors and more sprinkles, however you want them to look. I'm going to go with a little bit of a simple look, just adding a bit of snow at the bottom. So again, just going in with that royal icing, pressing down, adding pressure, and then just releasing as you pull away to do the next pearl. Show you again, so I'm just pressing, adding pressure, release, pressing down, add pressure, release, just making little balls or pearls of royal icing. So it has a nice finish to it and it looks like snow on the top of this little candy gingerbread house. Just added some sprinkles there. And I'm going to, with the blue one, I'm definitely going to use the other mix of sprinkles. I love how the brown and the white and the orange really just complement this pastel blue. So I'm going to mix that up too and add different sprinkles. Again, we just go in and fill out that bottom, and then I'll show you how I decorated the other ones. So the other cookies I'm not going to add sprinkles to. I think I'm just going to leave them because they're such small cookies. I think it will look better if they didn't have the sprinkles on. I'm just going to pipe in little balls so that this bubble hat can look super cute. And then that's it. That's them all finished. Now with the snowman, I've got some fake Cahill gold. I'm mixing that in with a little bit of high proof alcohol. You can use lemon juice if you don't want to use alcohol. It's just keep in mind the lemon juice won't dry very quickly, or it won't dry as solidly as the alcohol does. It doesn't really evaporate. I made a little bit of a mistake here, so I went back in with a little bit of the alcohol, and I'm just going to use a clean paintbrush and just clean that up, wipe that away, so you get a really nice tidy finish. And then I found these really cute letter boxes, or they're like DVD size boxes, and I'm putting in some cute little crepe paper, and I'm just adding a mixture of cookies in different shapes, so they got a lovely mix. And I'll go in and throw some mini marshmallows to make it super cute, because you should definitely be eating these biscuits with a hot chocolate topped with marshmallows. And there we go, that's it. Super little cute Christmas boxes ready to go out this holiday. Thank you for watching.